All right, I know it's been a while since I posted anything about the house, and I'm sure you guys are wondering, Ryan, what in the world is going on? The house burned down. Did you fail? Did you not get the renovation done? Well, it's actually none of those. And I'm here to somewhat apologize to everybody. I really appreciate everyone that's followed along and has asked me and what I've been doing and why I haven't finished the video series. And I kind of left you all hanging and without an answer, but I want to get to that. The reason why I did that, and they're kind of some crap reasons to be honest, once the house started getting closer to finished, it became personal in a sense to where I didn't want to share my house with the world. I mean, imagine you just taking your camera and showing everyone your bedroom and that kind of thing. It just seemed weird for some reason. I can't really explain it, and it's probably more in my head than anything else. But I did start it, and I am going to finish it. Thanks to a push from a couple of my friends, I was told that, where are we at with the renovation? Why did you leave all your friends hanging and all your followers? And I really appreciate that you guys have been following along. In the heat of it, I mean, that was around like November-ish, so the holidays were trickling around. The project got super messy for like a long time. It like 2 weeks, I think it got really messy. Also had to move in, set up all my stuff so it looked like a completed house. And I honestly think Christmas came around and was traveling up to north Chicago and then never got around to making the video, and I felt bad for it, and it's been on my mind for a long time now. So what I am going to do today is show you what the completed project looks like, a couple of pro tips and what to avoid, and how your contractor can royally screw you. So I hope you guys enjoy what you're about to see. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or you can send me a message as always. Other than that, let's get going. All right, so we're gonna start off with the front of the house. I painted the house. Previously it was green. The color was really gross. As you can see, the landscaping is still the same. I cannot wait to get the landscaping completed. Unfortunately, I say it's too cold, but really it's 75 out right now. But in order to plant landscaping and plant grass, you need it to be warmer. It can't get below 65 degrees. Otherwise, the roots that are trying to set in the ground will never take. And also, it doesn't rain a whole lot right now. We're in the month of February right now, the beginning of February. So it hasn't rained. I mean, December, January, February, March. It typically doesn't rain in Florida. So I'm gonna hold off on that a little bit. I still have what's left to do is resurface the driveway. That's gonna be a project for me. That's gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna get it done. Gotta make it look nice. It's really a big eyesore in front of the house. We did paint the house, like I said. And as soon as we painted it, we decided that we hated the color. So we have to go back now and paint it ourselves. Luckily, it's not too costly. I could hire them, but honestly, they didn't do a great job in the first place, so I'm not gonna hire them again. Cost us like 75 bucks for a 5-gallon bucket of paint. So we're just gonna paint it ourselves. Little roll-on stuff, nothing too complicated. I redid the light as well. The light fixtures, the sconces, and then we replaced the front door and the fixture of that. The biggest thing on the outside that we've done so far is replace the roof, and there is a nightmare roof story behind that. I don't even like thinking about this story, but here it goes. Halfway through, all right, so the roof was scheduled to be completed in about 3 days. Typically it takes about 2, but they started late on a Friday. Friday comes, weekend weather's looking pretty nice. So Friday comes, they demo about 80% of the roof, just ripping off the shingles and seeing what's underneath, seeing what kind of damage they need to replace for boards. Everything was pretty okay. They came back Saturday to replace or to take off the rest of the 20% that they left on Friday. And then after that, they're supposed to put down some sheet or ice and water shield, which is basically the waterproofing layer between the roof and between the plywood on the roof and the shingles. It's that layer right between that doesn't allow water to get to penetrate. The shingles are really for endurance purposes, so the sun and hail and stuff like that doesn't beat up the ice and water shield, and then obviously the plywood structural. Well, they got about maybe halfway done. I'd probably even say less than that, maybe 40% done. Basically, my house is an L shape like that. They got the inside around the pool done, but didn't get the outside around the other side, or on the outside of the house done. Sunday they're supposed to come back and do that. Well, Sunday came around, and these lovely contractors decided to no show me. Sunday night rolls around, 6 p.m. We get a torrential downpour. As you could predict, some of the spots that were exposed definitely got wet on the inside. It rained in every single room in my house. We were catching water in buckets. I mean, all of the towels in the house were on the ground, trying to collect water as much as we could, mitigate as much damage as possible. It was a mess, and resulted in minimal damage. It just resulted in a terrible Sunday night for us. Me and Nicole were sprinting around the house, just trying to collect as much water as we could in buckets, and then I had to run up on the roof in the middle of this torrential downpour, throw a tarp on there, which covered up about half the roof, and then we had to paint a couple of places, but overall the damage was pretty small. The damage that was there actually was mostly in the garage. The garage had drywall ceiling, but the rest of the house is like a thick plaster. House is a 1955 build, I think. So they used a very thick plaster. It's just essentially concrete. Thank God they did that, because otherwise you would have had drips in the ceiling that you would typically see whenever drywall gets wet. That is the nightmare roof story. Lots of fun there. But let's go to some more positive things. I'll take you guys on the inside. We'll check out the inside. All right, welcome to my kitchen and my living room. This has been the most dramatic change, I believe. There's probably like two others, bathroom and pool, that made a big difference, but this is obviously the largest space in the house is kitchen and living room. It's where it's the face of your house. It's where everyone gathers, and it's a big, big selling point in your house when it comes to resale value. So I wanted to do it up. We don't have a huge house. I don't mind, but other people might as they're looking for homes in the future. So I wanted to make it all open. As you could see, I did. We had a wall here prior. The wall was about, let's say like right here. And then it took that little L, and then the kitchen was basically blocked off from the living room. Well, the wall was non-structural, thank God, because that would have been a costly fix. So we took that wall out. The ceiling, or the cabinets, run all the way up to the ceiling. We provide a nice backsplash there. We got new appliances. These countertops are fantastic. I actually was able to pick out these countertops and hire the sub myself. I didn't let the general contractor do that one. This was a large decision. It's obviously the biggest decision in a flip. People love countertops. I mean, selling point of the house tenfold. These are actually granite, not quartz. Quartz is a little higher price range. We wanted to go with granite. Got a good price on it, and the contractor that did it was incredible. We're definitely using him on flips in the future. The cabinets are from Home Depot. The handles are, I think they're from Amazon, but they turned out great too. In the rush to get things done, I had to do some work in here. Like more nightmare stories. Contractor was extremely late on delivering the project. He, in fact, still has not came back to do the final touch-ups. He will not be coming back. I basically prevented the rest of his pay, and I'm going to be doing the rest of the touch-ups, which isn't too bad. It's just kind of like a terrible situation. Needless to say, I won't be working with this contractor ever again. But anyways, I got the backsplash on, new appliances, new sink, new fixture. The trim above the light, or the trim above the sink, is custom. As we were discussing on what we wanted to do with this sink area above the sink, we were thinking about bringing the backsplash all the way up, and it created a strange corner. How do you wrap that window with tile? We didn't have bull nose, and what it came down to was we had a couple of pieces of leftover trim, and I decided to sketch something up real quick in front of my contractor to make sure that I liked it, for one, and two, that it was acceptable on his end, where it wasn't going to increase the budget. And it actually was a smart move because it was less work for him, and I think it looks better, in my opinion. We're able to do those little inset squares. We're able to do something custom. Maybe we want to, since we have little gold accents, maybe we want to have like gold speckled paint, or I could splatter paint up there, or we could just leave it as is, because right now I think it looks really great. Another big feature of the kitchen is to my left over here, the sliding glass door. So this sliding glass door goes right up to the pool area. This used to be a French door, and it was pretty old and nasty, but this is a sliding glass door. It was a large expense, but in my opinion, it's worth it. And it's also what the comps had included in theirs. So the comps have it, and you want to get their price, you gotta match up sometimes. So, not to mention, I do like the sliding glass door over the door here. Next part I'm going to take you to is the living room. We have in the process of getting new furniture, but we got most of it. Living room shaped up pretty nicely. What's really cool about this, my favorite part about this, is going to be this floating entertainment center. Staging does wonders in flips, and I'm not saying that I'm a professional stager whatsoever, but I do like my house to look nice. Hiding all of the wires was essential to producing this look. My living room isn't that big, and this couch is pretty large. So I wanted to make enough space to where it seemed like it was more of a minimalist design, where we wanted to have more space underneath to produce a bigger feel. If you have a heavy entertainment center, or a large entertainment center, or bookshelves hanging off all over the place around your TV, or as a center focal point of essentially your focal point of your living room, having less stuff on the ground is going to make a larger appearance. All right, the next spot I'm going to take you is the bathroom. Bathroom, obviously you got new tile. The biggest part about the bathroom, and it's kind of weird to think about, but you should start with a vanity. Vanities are crazy expensive for whatever reason. Find a deal on a vanity. Try to take that and let it mold your design. Let your vanity essentially pick out your other features. The tile in the tub, we replaced the tub and then took the tile all the way to the ceiling and put a little niche in the side of the tile, or the shower. And I think that looks really good. Replaced the toilet. Everything in here is brand new essentially. And we also added a can light in the top. These can lights are fantastic for renovation purposes, because all you have to do is cut a 6-inch hole and wire them up, and that's it. There's no typical can light bracket that you have to install. So next up, I want to show you is my ensuite. The ensuite is not attached to the house. The ensuite, you have to go out the slider and into this French door here. So a couple ideas that we had with this are, all of our relatives are essentially out of town. So we wanted a place for our relatives to be able to stay. Not only our relatives, but our friends as well. So this is a nice little private getaway that they have with a bathroom inside of it. The bathroom came out really well in my opinion. The black hexagon floors are a pain to keep clean, but they do look fantastic. I still need to do some detail cleaning on there, but then we took the shower, the tile all the way to the shower, the same tile in each bathroom, but the niche has a hexagon pattern as well.
And of course, the last thing we need to talk about is the pool. My personal favorite part of this renovation. This has made dramatic changes from where we first started.
We have a functional pool, everybody. So if you remember, and I probably burned in everybody's brain whenever it did because of how disgusting it was, this pool was green. What we did on here, there was a pretty beat up curb. We call this the curb. Pretty beat up curb. They had to demo all the tile off, obviously, build that curb back up, and then we retiled it. And then this is on the bottom half is stucco. The stucco after you put it on, you got to sand it down, make sure it's all flat, good looking. And then I painted it, and then we acid washed the pavers and power washed them heavily. The pool took about, I'd say, a month and a half to stabilize to where it looks like it does now. And I am extremely happy with how it turned out. And so far, been minimal upkeep, but we haven't had heat. And I'm definitely not jumping in that pool for a little while because it's rocking it at about 60 degrees right now. That is the renovation, everybody. Once again, I apologize for keeping you guys hanging for so long. I'm always happy to do these videos, but I am doing them all by myself. I do the recording, the production. It's just a lot of work in general, and I've been busy, one, with work, but two, I don't want to put any more excuses out there more than I already have because it's just been a whirlwind of a project, and doing my first personal flip was a challenge to say the least. As my adventures tick on, I'm looking forward to finding a new contractor and building a relationship with him or her. Excited to get started on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this renovation. I'm closing this out. Thank you for following along. I appreciate that you guys have made me persist in completing this video series, even though I've had second thoughts on it. So once again, thank you for following along. I really appreciate my followers, of course. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side.